Greetings, loved ones. Today we're going to talk about recovering from trauma. So please help us get these messages out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. Give us a message. Tell us what you think of these programs. And please share them with others, because you could save a life. You could prevent a suicide. Today we're talking about recovering from trauma. Not everyone who endures a traumatic experience is scarred, but recovering, how do we say this? But recovering requires that painful emotions be thoroughly processed. Whatever inner resources people need to mobilize for recovery, they still cannot accomplish the task alone. Depression and trauma are disconnective disorders. They do not improve in isolation, and to fix them, you must be connected to others. Direct experience with disasters ranging from war and terrorism to hurricanes and earthquakes has taught us that there are 4 basic stages in recovering from a profound stress. Progression through all 4 stages is essential to recovery. Stage 1 is circuit breaking. Think about it this way. If you overload an electrical system with too much energy and too much stimulation, the circuit breaker activates and shuts everything down. The human nervous system is also an electrical system, and when it is overloaded with too much stimulation and too much danger, as in trauma, it also shuts down to just basics. People describe it as feeling numb, in shock, or even dead inside. The juice just turns off. Intellectually, you lose from 50 to 90% of brain capacity, which is why you should never make a decision when you're in the trauma zone. Emotionally, you don't feel anything. Spiritually, you're disconnected. You have a spiritual crisis, or it doesn't mean anything to you at all. Physically, all your systems shut down, and you just run on the basics. You're just going through the motions. What is so intriguing is that physical symptoms that were previously prominent often disappear during this time. For example, back pains, migraines, arthritis, and even acne clears up. Then when recovery from trauma is complete, the physical symptoms return. When the system starts to recover and can handle a bit more stimulation and energy, and the human system is destined to try to recover, to seek equilibrium, feelings begin to return. And that's stage 2, the return of feelings. Most people who have not experienced much primary trauma, that they must see a professional counselor, they can work through their feelings by involving the people they're close to. Like, I call my mom, I call my friend, I talk to this person. They do it by telling their story 100 times. They need to talk, and recount the gory details. That is the means by which they begin to dispel the feelings of distress attached to their memories and trauma. And the more the feelings can be encouraged, the better. The more you feel, the more you heal. The expression of feelings can take many forms. For most people, it may be easiest to talk, but others may need to write or draw. However they tell their stories, the rest of us have an obligation to listen. It is often helpful to actually revisit the scene of destruction. And that allows someone who has been impacted directly to emotionally experience the event. We're going to let the sound pass by. We overcome many challenges here. So, that allows someone who has been impacted directly to emotionally experience the event and grasp the reality of it. That direct experience can stimulate the return of feeling. Visiting the site is not for everybody, however. For some, it is too disturbing. Others may need the support of loved ones to revisit the scene. There are 4 broad patterns of expression of feelings that people employ in response to crisis. Call them feeling styles. Some people consistently maintain one style Others exhibit all 4 styles at different times. And it is important to recognize which style of emotional expression is characteristic of your response and which patterns your loved ones display. Each one demands a different approach. So we're going to share these 4 styles right now. One is the trickle effect. The feelings, they flow in little trickles, slow but steady. Tricklers have feelings at a low or medium level all the time. Then there's the hit and run feelings. Some people hit an emotion, experience it intensely, and then find it so scary they run away from it. They avoid it. They won't talk about it for days, weeks, or even months. Then they hit the feeling again, and it, boom, blows up, and they run away from it again. Third type of feeling is the roller coaster feeling. Many people go up and down emotionally. They're in touch with their feelings, but their feelings, they're just all over the place, like a roller coaster. However, they go very quickly through the feeling stage. And then there's the tsunamis. Emotions come in tidal waves for them that are so big, comprehensive, and overwhelming that those who get them feel like they're going to drown. They flail about, and then the wave recedes. They discover that they're still alive and they feel better. And then the tsunamis usually occur because people repress their feelings of pain. Okay, so that's the 4 feelings that are expressed in the feeling stage. Stage 3 is constructive action. This is how we heal from trauma. People need to take action and make difference even in the smallest ways. Like taking action restores a sense of control, and it directly recounts the sense of powerlessness that is identifying the mark of trauma. The ways of action, there are many. You can write a letter to rescue workers. You can go donate blood. You can make a card for those who have lost loved ones. You can hang a flag if that means something to you. You can donate to the Red Cross. You can feed rescue workers or collect needed supplies for them from your community. You can take in children whose families can't reach them. You can help a person who is out of control to get more grounded during the crisis. You do whatever you can and never assume that any gesture is too small. In a situation that is overwhelming, you don't go for the big picture. You go for what is closest to you and where you can make a difference. Constructive action might be writing about the catastrophe or creating some work of art about it. It also encompasses getting back to work so that you can contribute something. Stage 2 and stage 3 go hand in hand. To go forward, you feel and you act. You can't do one or the other. And acting and feeling become an engine that propels you forward. And the 4th and final stage of healing is reintegration. In the wake of crisis, it is possible to learn and grow at rates 100 times faster than at any other time because there is a door of opportunity. Growth can grow at warp speed in every domain in life. You can learn much that is deep and profound, and you do this by interacting and by working together on the meaning of the difficult experience. Those who have the courage to become part of the trauma tribe, to experience and share their pain, or to help them overcome their pain, also have the opportunity to share their growth. Everyone who goes through this process ends up better, stronger, smarter, deeper, and more connected. They would say so, and everyone who comes in contact with them recognizes the change. It is like having a broken bone. If it heals properly, it is stronger in the spot where it was fractured than it was before the injury. Traumatic experiences are broken bones of the soul. If you engage in the process of recovery, you get stronger. If you don't, the bones remain porous with permanent holes inside, and you are considerably weaker. In this stage of recovery, you reintegrate yourself and your values in a new way. You incorporate meaning in your life. You integrate deeper and more authentic ways of communicating. People at this stage may experience a new sense of the preciousness of life, a clarification of goals and renewed commitment to them, a new understanding of the value of ties to others. But to get to stage 4, you have to go through the first 3 stages. Remember this, the question is not if you will encounter a victim of trauma or violence. The question before God is this: what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life, who prevents a suicide. You are called, we are all called to be champions for justice. Those who suffer violence and trauma, they need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will give them the help they need before it's too late. If you're a victim of violence or trauma, I want you to listen to me. I want you to know that you are valued, you are loved, you are intelligent, and yes, you are worthy. God does not want you to suffer trauma or violence. He wants you to heal and live free from violence in peace and tranquility. I want you to know there is a way out. It's not your fault. Abuse is not love. And most of all, you are not alone. If you're a victim of violence or trauma, reach out to somebody today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. If you know of someone suffering trauma, bring them the help they need to heal. If you know of someone who's suffering abuse, tell the authorities. In our next episode, we're going to have a 2-part series on how to recover from trauma and PTSD. Until then, God bless you.